What's going on, everybody out there? We got Rob Reiser on the show on a Martin Luther King Day. Just remember, be like Martin, be kind, be nice, and make a difference in the world. Welcome to the show, Rob. What's up, brother?
Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, we appreciate you getting up because we realize you do a lot of shows at night and you're a night owl, brother. So I know this is like 2 a.m. for you. Like, what am I doing? But hey, we're glad to have you. So you know what? Give us a little bit of me and Mike G are always glad to have somebody come on. So, give us a little background before we get started because we definitely want to get to the music and have you belt a couple tunes out today. But we're going to get a little bit of background where you're from. And then I just find out what inspired you to, make music your passion, brother.
Yeah, man. So I'm from upstate New York and I grew up in the middle of nowhere. And like so much in the middle of nowhere, there was only one radio station that actually came through clear, and it was a country radio station. So like literally that was the only thing that I had to listen to growing up. And my parents listened to country music a lot. It was always around. I was listening to what my friends were, whether it was like NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys and all that. And then this band Creed came around, and they blew up the whole world with doing their thing. And their lyrics just hit me so hard and it affected my life. And I kind of sought out bands that were like that had these deep, inspiring, positive, life questioning, just lyrics that could change your life. And, that was kind of where music started for me. Is I connected with that. And, I always wanted to do whatever I could to change the world. I used to tell people I wanted to be the president of the United States when I was a kid because I wanted to make a difference in the world. I thought that was going to be my best way. And then I found music and just saw the power that I could have on my life and other people's lives. And that's where it started for me. I never really had any like natural music ability. I wasn't a singer when I was born. I didn't pick up a guitar and just shred on it. I just kind of saw the power of it and loved it so much. And took the time to get decent at it just because I just loved it with all my heart.
Hey, so what age did you start playing the guitar?
I think I was like 14 or 15. I had to beg my dad to let me buy an acoustic with my own money. He wouldn't let me get an electric guitar first. But I got my first acoustic, I think around 14. And got my first electric, I think a year later. And that was it. Like the guitar took over my life. I was big into sports and school and all that, but as soon as I got one of these, man, that was my whole life.
What sports did you play?
Baseball, football were my favorites. Before music, baseball was my biggest love, and just because I always had an aggressive, kind of all-in kind of personality, football worked out well for me. But it all worked out in the end. I think definitely found the right home.
Do you ever see yourself working with some rock, like mix things up?
Oh,
a little bit.
I
could see that. Yeah, there we go. Because I could see you stringing. I saw some pictures. He was like, I'm like, oh, yeah, I want to hear some pump up music with this one. Yeah.
When I was growing up, like the biggest bands, like I mentioned Creed, but like Three Doors Down was big, and Green Day, and like all those Blink-182. They were all guitar driven stuff that was on the radio and that was popular. So that stuff is kind of my wheelhouse, and you could definitely hear that influence all over my music too. And
so do you mix it up in shows? Like you do electric and you take another guitar and
That's fine, man. But you never know. Like 95% of what I do in Nashville, Tennessee is country. But yesterday I played an acoustic show. Well, get this, at Taco Bell. In Nashville, Tennessee, the Taco Bells have live music and alcohol.
What? Damn. Life's little secrets. We got to go to Nashville.
Never thought that I'd say this, but I'm playing a show at Taco Bell in Nashville, Tennessee. And we had this group of people that like wanted 90s stuff. And I think for like 2 hours straight, all I did was play like 90s rock and pop. I was digging deep, man. I was playing Nelly and whatever makes people happy.
All right, so Rob, what inspired you, man? We were talking about your dad before we got on the show. So, kind of give everybody a little background on how your dad set this legacy, because, parents are such a huge influence on people. So, like with your dad, what was that influence, or what those traits, what did he give you that just, gave you that drive in life?
Oh man, I love that question, man. My dad was a single parent, and so he had to fill two roles, and he he really wanted to mold me a certain way, and he was strict growing up, but I understand why now. But he always had like all these sayings that he would just kind of just drill into my head, and he did a good job, because to this day I'll be in a situation and one of those sayings will pop into my head, or I'll end up saying them and be like, oh man, I'm turning into my dad. But he was always trying to mold me into the best human being that he could. And that kind of, so my first single, The Challenger, that song was inspired by him. We were having this conversation, and it was actually about his Dodge Challenger. He had a 1971 Dodge Challenger back in the day when he was my age. And all his glory days stories started with that song. And I was just thinking in my head, like, what a cool name the Challenger was. And I related it, I'm in the fitness world too. And I related to how in boxing, it's like the challenger versus the champion. So I wrote this song instantly after I got off the phone with him, from the mindset of the challenger going into like the biggest fight of his life against the champion. And then while I was writing the song, a few of my dad's sayings ended up in the song, like stuff that he always used to say. And so I actually gave him songwriting credit. I wrote it by myself, but I actually put him as a writer on the song. And so I'd written that song, and before I got to record it, he passed away. So when it was time to record my first single and, invest money into it, I was like, that's the one. That's where my heart's at. So.
All right. So with that being said, let's hear The Challenger.
I would love to, man. I'm going to play you guys the lullaby version of it.
Hey, that's okay. We'll work with it. Hey, I'm good, man.
The announcer said, who's this guy? Some mad she's a joke. He's a nobody. Probably just joke. He don't stand a chance. A bet's on the champion. I lay 10-1 odds. He's undefeated. Around here he's a guy. But Dad told me the bigger they are, the harder they fall. So here is my shot. I'll give it everything I've got. I'm the challenger. Stepping in the ring, got nothing but my hopes and dreams, but sweat and tears. Long road it took to get here. Man, I swear I may go down fighting, but you better believe I'll still be on my feet. If it was round 13, I can promise you that you'll remember me as more than the challenger. Yeah. One-two shot right on the jaw. You can knock me down, I still get back up for more. Don't know when to quit now, but I know what I'm fighting for. So here is my shot. I'll keep it everything I've got. I'm a challenger. I'm stepping in the ring, got nothing but my hopes and dreams, but sweat and tears. Long road it took to get here. Man, I swear I may go down fighting, but you better believe I'll still be on my feet. If it was round 13, I can promise you that you'll remember me as more than a challenger. Nobody dare get in my way, 'cause you can knock me down, but in the end you'll say I was the hardest you fought, the toughest opponent you ever saw. So here is my shot. I'll give it everything I've got. I'm the challenger. I'm stepping in the ring, got nothing but my hopes and dreams, but sweat and tears. The long road it took to get here. Man, I swear I may go down fighting, but you better believe I'll still be swinging. Round 13, I can promise you you'll remember me is more than a challenger. Is more than a challenger. Is more than a challenger.
Hey,
Nice, very nice.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, but you knocked it out, man, when you told us that it was about your dad, and it's linked, because when I first heard it, I was like, okay, it's about a boxer. And then now when you laid that out and you explained that, hey, man, this is about my dad. It's about survival. It's about, persevering against tough times. Dude, that is so balanced, and that is like the American struggle brought into music, man. I love it, Rob. I mean, you're like all over that, man. Great song.
It's become my anthem in music too, because you're always the underdog in music, and you're never gonna be that superstar when you're starting off. But that line in the song, like, it doesn't matter what the outcome is, as long as you give everything you got. As long as you walk away from every situation in life knowing that you gave everything you had, your whole heart and soul, into what you did, that you're good. You can't criticize yourself no matter what the outcome is. And that's been really good life advice for me in music. And the most precious things that you can get as a songwriter is when somebody comes to you and says that your song uplifted them or gave them strength or hope or whatever. And not long after I released that song, somebody I respected so much, somebody I looked up to, came to me and was like, man, I was having a really rough day, and your song came on, and it gave me the strength and inspiration to push through that. And I was like, me, and that just like reinforced why I love music so much.
All right, so you graduated high school, and you're pursuing music. Have you had any influences back with New York, where you went to high school, and everybody's kind of seeing that you're on YouTube, because social media is so widespread now, and it's kind of making it a lot easier on artists back in the day. If you're running around handing a CD to different record artists, you actually cannot I'm gonna let Mike touch on that street, but back with the high school back in your hometown. Is everybody kind of tracking that you're kind of blowing up and you're kind of getting after it, man?
It's funny you say that, man, because like I've literally just this weekend had two people from back home in New York come visit me, and to me, what I'm doing, like, it's all about perspective and scale, because to me, I'm not where I want to be as an artist. I'm trying to elevate, but to someone back home in a small town, you're a superstar. And to have someone from my childhood come and just be like so enthusiastic about what I'm doing, and be so proud and express it so exuberantly, it's like it kind of puts it in perspective. It's like if I was looking at this from 14-year-old me just picking up the guitar, now making a living playing in Nashville, Tennessee, with the highest competition of artists that there probably is in the whole world, you look at it like that, and like, you got to be proud of yourself. But then you sit in my shoes now, and I'm like, okay, well, I need to be here and here and here. And, it's all about how you look at it. So yeah, man, like that literally just happened this weekend. It was a really, really cool feeling. And it's awesome to stay connected like that with people and reconnect. That's the beauty of social media. There's a lot of dark sides to it, but the interpersonal connection is what keeps me on there.
So how do you shop your material around? Do you do your own personal, you got a team of promoters?
Team right here.
There it is. That's good though. You're doing a good website. You're doing your YouTube. Everybody, we check it out.
I actually am going to be with a management company starting March 1st. Thank you. I gave myself a couple months just to kind of button things up, get myself in the best position I can, because it's not cheap. But yeah, man, as an artist, you are working 7 days a week, every moment that you're awake. And, I'm pretty sure I'm probably working in my sleep too, thinking about things subconsciously. But yeah, man, it's nonstop. I mean, I try to just make connections with people when I play shows. I think that's the best, most genuine way. And that's how you get people to follow you forever, is to make an impression on them when you're right in front of them. Social media can be can be so fake, and that kind of deters me from it sometimes. You know, I see artists portray themselves one way on social media, and then I see them in person, or I see them, you know, show a studio recording, and I see them in person, and it's not the same. And so it's really important to me to be that same person that is in front of people and on social media as well. But you know, I do a lot of shows downtown, so I get to meet a lot of people. You know, I've been started a YouTube channel. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I just started a TikTok too.
Me too. I don't even have one yet.
I just got converted. I mean, you have to do what you got to do as an artist to get yourself out there. You know, you got to be on every platform.
You got to do what you got to do. Yeah, correct, man.
Post every day.
Don't be shamed on it, man. TikTok, Snapchat, do it all. You got to push it all. You got to make it happen. Come on, Rob, do your thing.
Whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes.
Oh God, hold on, give me a moment, Rob. I lost train of thought because hey, I've been struggling with the TikTok thing. I'm always asked to do them, but you know, I haven't gotten there. You know, all right. So I'm gonna pick on you real quick before we get down to the back end of your song. All right, dude, you look like a supermodel, man. All right, so then you're saying it. So you look like a supermodel. You look like an action figure out of G.I. Joe. So I mean, have you even thought of even though I realize you love music, of even dabbling in, you know, like the modeling industry or dabbling in like film, because, you know, short films or anything. Because, dude, you hate to say it, you just got the poster boy look. It ain't my fault, man. But I'm just throwing it out there, man.
Thanks, health and fitness is a big part of my life. Before I was doing music full time, I was a personal trainer and a gym owner. Unintentionally, I never knew that, like, so I did a photo shoot for the Challenger last year, and I never even knew what I'd look like in a professional photo. And I got the results back, and I was like, okay, like, you know, like, it came out pretty natural. And that kind of was a cool thing to like figure out that like I could do that. But I'm just so focused on music. But it's funny you say that, because I guess I can make this announcement right now. Tomorrow I'm going to be in a music video for John Rich and Cowboy Troy. It's going to be filmed where I play a lot at Redneck Riviera. That's his bar. And I'm going to be his guitar player for his music video that's going to be coming out. And they're going to actually be playing it at Nissan Stadium, the Titan Stadium, for the games as like a hype thing for their playoff.
Going places.
Yeah, so I'm super stoked about that. But yeah, man, I mean, if opportunities came knocking on my door, I would do it. But I just want to stay so focused on music, you know?
No, totally understand. I was just throwing it out there, man, because, you know, I was like, okay, man, when they get done with the Spider-Mans, you can always go ahead and fill in the next role for Spider-Man.
You know, I mean, my dream role would be Batman. When I was a kid, that he was my hero.
Hey, man, Sean Patterson, whatever it just did it. You got it, man. You down the road.
I can't wait to see that movie.
Oh yeah, because I know it's, you know, it's taking forever. You know, since you got into music and you play sports, so which is your favorite sports team? Because you know you're from New York, and you know New York's already got confusion because they got two teams in everything they do.
Oh, man. You're gonna make me upset a bunch of people. I'm a diehard Yankees fan. I was born 10 minutes from the stadium. My dad's from the Bronx. There was no choice.
Pelham Bay Parkway, yes.
There's no choice. As for football, though, I call myself a free agent.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's down here with everybody in Florida. They jump between Alabama and who's ever going to beat Alabama. It just depends on how it floats. So we got a bunch of fair weather fans down here. So I totally understand. Well, Mike's from New York, right? Aren't you, Mike?
Pelham Bay Parkway, the Bronx. I was there on Riverside Drive. You know, I have family there. What's going on? Mama Juana Cafe, you know. Woo! What's up, Pedro? No. I still got family there, but I'm a Tampa boy now. I've been here for a long time, you know.
You know, man,
with music too.
I love the Bucks, the Tampa Bay Bucks, just because of how much I respect Tom Brady.
That's like, he bringing that fire.
Man, like for a guy to perform the way he does at his age is just a marvel. And I'm huge into work ethic, and there is nobody that I know that is as dedicated as Tom Brady in every area. That he's an inspiration for me in music, because everything he does in his life is about football and his performance on the field. Everything in his life is streamlined towards that.
Absolutely, and he's right now he is the poster child for being the commitment of excellence. All right, so when people want to know about, here's your website, and if people want to know where you're going to be playing next or what you got going on in the immediate future, can you kind of give us a rundown on how you see Rob's life in the next 6 months?
Yeah, man. So I'm in Nashville right now, and I have regular shifts downtown. So I'm basically playing Thursday through Sunday, 6 to 10. I'm always playing. Mostly like Friday, Saturday, I'm always at Redneck Riviera. Thursdays I'm at Johnny Cash's a lot. Sundays I'm at Taco Bell Cantina, and then throughout the week it's kind of whatever comes up. I'm playing actually at the airport a bunch in the next couple of weeks. There's a couple restaurants at the airport, and I got a regular gig there. Most of the time my stuff's posted to my website. If not, I'm always on Instagram. Instagram's the best place to connect with me. I'm always on the stories talking about what's going on with my day or what my shows are, and I usually put the week shows up on Instagram. I used to put all my Broadway shows on my website, but I play so much and usually the same places, and people know I'm in Nashville, so I've gotten a little lax on that. But the important shows will be posted on there, and come spring when it gets a little bit warmer, I'll be outside of Nashville. I'm probably going to do a run back in New York, and I'm a huge fan of Florida too, so I'm getting back there pretty soon.
We'll be looking for you to get here and drop some music. Hey man, I really like the way you did your video. So can you kind of tell us about your video content and your studio time? Because Mike's showing them, and I like to get some background because, dude, it looks like you're having a good time, man.
Oh man, it's awesome. So I worked with the guy Chaz Manzada. He's a total pro, and basically just a mic on my guitar, a mic on my voice, direct into the computer, and just playing my songs. We did like 2 takes of each song, and it's amazing to me how important video content is, because right now those videos are getting more plays than the actual songs, like on the streaming services. So I started a YouTube channel, and every 2 weeks I'm releasing a new one. So I started off with an acoustic version of the Challenger, and then I released a new song on New Year's Eve, Here I Am. That song never been heard before. Just a couple days ago, a song called My Promise was released on there. In 2 more weeks, there's a song that's really dear to my heart called Buzzkill. And then next month, I'm going to be filming another 4 and continuously releasing them. And they came out so awesome. I just want to keep doing it.
No, because you laid into it, man. It's good stuff, man. And then what I really enjoyed about the song is, all right, I'm going to tell you, man, My Promise. All right. So before we get to the end, I'm going to ask you a couple more questions, and then I want to get to my song. But Rob, what I'm really impressed about is that your fortitude of being the starving actor and getting after it, and your perseverance. So let me I understand your dad had an influence on you about giving you that strength. But, even though my mom gave me a lot of strength, as I was growing up, and I was trying to tell you that, she's a rock star in the parenting world of struggle. What traits do you think that just you and yourself, not that you inherit from your dad, but there's some traits that you think you've grown and evolved from being in this business? Because any advice that you would have right now, if I was a young artist thinking about giving up because, I started at, and, everybody believes that they're going to make $1 million straight out the gate, and they're just going to straight to the ceiling, which ain't the reality of this business. What advice would you give that young kid in New York that's sitting at home that went to high school where you went to and says, Rob did it, I know I could do it?
First thing I would do is say, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. You got to absolutely love it with all your heart. If you're talking about music, you can't do it for the money. You're not going to make money in music for a long time unless you're, just playing cover songs. As an artist, it takes a long time to be profitable. And you're going to get knocked down 1,000 times before you get that one little break, and then another 2,000 times before you get the next break. So make sure be introspective and know that you're doing it for the right reasons and that you love it. Past that, man, it's it's discipline. There are people that are way more talented than me that aren't going anywhere because they're not focused and not disciplined. I think that's been the backbone of my life is looking up to people that are just insanely driven and disciplined and using them for inspiration. People like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, man. Like I literally.
Oh, we know.
Yesterday I was like, about to go in the gym, and I like went on his Instagram, and he had like the perfect, post he had just did that just made me want to give it all, man. This looking up to people that inspire you, like for me, like Tim McGraw inspires me as a human being, as an artist, as a father, and as a human being, I respect that guy. So, having people that are kind of like your North Star of who you want to be helps a lot. But the biggest thing I would say, and this is the thing that I'm most critical of artists about, that I see too, is polishing your craft, man. That 10,000 hours thing, it's true. Don't be the person that can't play your own songs. Don't be the person that can't hit the notes that you're hitting on your recording. Like, go work your ass off and be the best version of yourself, and spend the hours, do everything you got to do to be the best version of yourself. I think the only mistake that you could ever make in your life is not being the best version of who you are. Be you and be the best version of you that you possibly can. Do what you love, stay true.
Hey, Brad, you preach it to the choir, man, and you hit a key point with, talking about The Rock and about discipline. Because me and Mike G, I honestly tell you, we actually do this out of labor of love, and it's our passion and hobby. And people always poke Mike because, he used to be in the music industry, and ask him, hey, Michael, how much money you guys make in your podcast? You know what Mike says? We don't make anything. We're all about getting information out, making people be the best version of themselves, and giving people opportunity to have their voice heard. And so, dude, you just preached to the choir to two guys that definitely love and live what you're talking about. Ain't that right, G?
That's true. It's true. You got to be hungry. You got to be dedicated to yourself. Always be dedicated to yourself. And like you said, work on your crafts every day. Everybody who's listening, he's perfectly correct. Work on your craft. Be positive. Love yourself first all the time.
Absolutely.
Well, I think he should get that little song you wanted to play, Vince.
All right, hold on. All right, so all right, so before we close out here, and me and Mike always say at the end of the show, so Mike, hit your mic real quick. Keep it rolling. All right, so hey guys, we had a great day with Rob Reiser. He's an up and coming star. He's about to kick it. It's a new song, My Promise. And it's going to take us to the end of the show. So, Rob, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. And I do have an exciting announcement to make. You're going to be happy about this, Vince. This is the first time that I'm saying this. My Promise is my next single. It's going to be coming out.
Exclusive!
I had another song I was going to do that's like kind of more of a fun pop country song. And my management team was like, you don't want to lead off with the big summer song. And I was like, well, I know exactly what song I want to do, because I actually just rewrote My Promise. So I'm not sure, you probably haven't even heard the newest version of it, because that video that you're talking about, that was actually recorded before I rewrote it.
Keep going there, man. I'm good either way, man, because that is a beautiful song.
New and improved version of My Promise. And this is just a love song that I wrote actually when I was single, sitting there, I was listening to George Strait, and I was like, man, where did all these beautiful classic country love songs go? And this is what I came up with. This is my version of that. My Promise. Pretty girl, don't you get down. I'm right here, I've got you now. It'll be alright, it'll be okay. You can mark these words I say, 'cause these are my promises. I'll be right here when days are rough. We'll be tougher when life gets tough. My feelings for you will never change. You can mark these words I say, 'cause these are my promises. I'm gonna love you with all that I am. I'll be everything for you, be the best man I can. And I'm gonna cherish you like a George Strait love song, a love so true, and one you can always count on. And you're gonna know it in everything I do. I'm gonna love you, I promise. And I can't fix this messed up world, but I swear when I'm with you, girl, it'll be alright, it'll be okay. You can mark these words I say, 'cause these are my promises. I'm gonna love you with all that I am. I'll be everything for you, be the best man I can. And I'm gonna cherish you like a George Strait love song, a love so true, and one you can always count on. You're gonna know it in everything I do. I'm gonna love you, I promise. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm gonna love you with all that I am. And I'll be everything for you, be the best man I can. I'm gonna cherish you like a George Strait love song, a love so true, one you can always count on. You're gonna know it in everything I do. I said you're gonna know it in everything I do. I'm gonna love you, I promise. I'm gonna love you.
Woo! Rob Reiser on Coastal Connection. Hey guys, we want to thank you for tuning in. It was a rock show. Rob, you rock. And you know what? We love you, man. Happy Martin
Love you
Luther King
guys.
Day. Keep
Thank
rocking.
you guys so much.